All right, friends. So the first step is to find your curved edge that you're going to use for your watermelon. So I'm just using this old dish that I have that I use for paint markers. Set that on your surface. And you can either sketch this out first with your chalk pencil or your chalk. I'm going to go ahead and add my chalk marker into this so that we can see the colors. So here is our rind. Okay, that's step one. Then we're going to create that inside separation with the rind, and I'm going to use this marker, this fine point one, and you have to be a little bit cautious because with these curved objects, they're going to match up differently, but that's okay. They're not going to be like perfectly spaced all the way across, so you just don't want to overlap too much. All right, so then we're going to add our pink for our watermelon. What do they call it? Watermelon fruit, flesh, I'm not sure. Okay, and then let that dry for a second. And we're gonna come in and we're gonna connect the two ends with a straight end, like that. Okay, so I've let this dry, and I've showed this trick before, but if you have a very nice like porcelain still smooth chalkboard and you're using your chalk markers, once the chalk marker is dry, you can actually come back with your pencil eraser and you can clean up those little spots that maybe you needed to with the chalk marker, and you don't have to get your chalkboard wet, which is such a huge benefit. So clean that up if you need to, because mine overlapped a little bit. And then I'm going to come back with my bold marker and color this in. Make sure you try to do it before it dries, because if you don't, it will scratch the chalk marker off in the dried areas, just like I just showed you with erasing it. So try to get everything colored in before it starts to dry so that it looks a little bit more smooth. Might be a little streaky in some spots. Some colors dry faster than others, I've noticed. This pink is usually pretty good about staying, not drying as fast. Okay, so there is your next step. Now we're gonna let that dry. All right, so step number 5 with the watermelon is to create the seeds now. So now that we've got this dry, if you're using chalk, you wouldn't have to wait for it to dry. You could just do this technique right away. But now that it's dry, I'm gonna come in, and the seed is like a raindrop shape like this, okay? And you can do it in different directions throughout here. I just do like a few, like less is better in this, like 3 or 4, probably maybe 5. So I just start over here and I kind of just start sketching it, and you can see what happens is let's see if I can zoom in for you. You can see that the pencil has already started to scratch some of the chalk marker off. So let's go back out. Okay. All right, so there's one. I'm gonna do one that's kind of like upside down. You can have them be all facing the same direction, or you can add some variety by having them go different directions and different shapes. Okay, so this will be my last one here. And you can see that they've already started to kind of scratch the surface. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back with my eraser and kind of just clean that up. If you erase too much, don't worry, you can always come back and add a little bit of the chalk marker if you need to. But the eraser and the pencil just kind of lift that chalk marker off. If you have a more porous chalkboard, this might not work as well, so you might have to add a little bit of water.